Saw this story the other day where all the Yankee injuries, and Brian Cashman, the GM of the Yankees, was asked, what about Chipper Jones? And said, yeah, take him in a minute. Needed a number to get a hold of him. So I said to Fritzy, see what Chipper's doing. Looks like he's enjoying retirement, but I don't know, what, 41 years of age? You want to play again? I thought, well, you can't do that. You know what? You're a Brave. You don't want to come out of retirement to play 1 year for the Yankees. It looks like he's enjoying himself, being a bad golfer, and, you're able to just have some fun. Chipper Jones joining us on the program. Did that aptly describe this situation here, Chipper?
I mean, I don't even think we need to do this interview. You just pretty much touched on all the points that I've brought up over the last week. It's been a crazy week.
Okay. How does this happen, though? Did you actually hear from the Yankees about coming out of retirement?
I personally did not. I'm sure that my agent, B.B. Abbott, probably did. I'm sure that, a lot of these general managers, they're not going to leave a stone unturned. And if somebody might have an inkling to come back, they're going to. He's not the first GM that I've heard from this winter. I've heard from presidents, vice presidents, owners, just everybody inquiring to see if maybe, just maybe, I might still want to play. But I assure you I don't.
Give me an idea how many teams have contacted you or your agent. We'll see if we can get Chipper back. Oh, there you go. Oh, wait. We didn't get your answer there. You dropped out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I've been personally contacted by 3 teams.
Oh, okay.
And has probably heard from a few more than that. So
the Yankees and who else?
I can't tell you that.
Really?
The Yankees is the only one that's common knowledge. But I'm not gonna throw everybody else's business out there.
Could you play this season?
From a skill set standpoint, yeah, I could. From an ability to be able to walk my crippled butt out there night in and night out, I seriously doubt it. I think I could probably play, probably anywhere from 75 to 100 games, but that's kind of putting some pressure on your teammates and your organization, when you can't go out there that much.
But the mental grind, what's tougher at when you're in your late 30s, now in your 40s, the grind mentally or physically?
When it's early in your career, when you're in your 20s, it's mental. The mental grind gets to you more so than the physical. As you get older, you learn how to deal with the mental grind a lot more. You learn to pace yourself, and that becomes easier. Then it becomes a challenge to stay on top of things physically.
How did you escape suspicion? It seemed like everybody in that whole era that somebody said something about somebody, whether it was true or not. But your name was, never surfaced with performance-enhancing drugs. How do you steer clear from it, even if you don't do it, but just innuendo or rumor, like somebody performs well in their late 30s? Well, they have to be using something now.
Well, I think number one, the first prerequisite is not to do it. That would be the first thing, and then I play in a relatively slow medium market from the standpoint of, you compare how many riders travel with the Atlanta Braves compared to how many riders travel with the Red Sox or the Yankees. I think we have 4 beat writers that travel with us. The media scrutiny has certainly helped in that standpoint. Unless you're outwardly roided up, as we've seen some people come through, Atlanta, through the years, you escape suspicion. I don't think my size or my shape has changed all that much since I came up, and that is certainly a
giveaway.
A good indicator as to whether somebody's on steroids or not.
But the pressure it's there. And I've said this before. If there's somebody from a third world country trying to get out of poverty, I mean, I'd do whatever it takes to get to the show. But, is there still pressure, do you think, on these kids to be able to? If somebody else is, then maybe I should.
Well, let me tell you something. If you got somebody playing the same position you do in the same league that you do, and there's suspicion on them, they're going out and winning Silver Sluggers and MVPs and getting All-Star votes and winning Gold Gloves and things like that. The pressure is certainly there. When I first got to the big leagues, you had guys such as Ken Caminiti, Matt Williams, guys that were tremendous ball players who were doing all those things. And as a young kid, the temptation is certainly there. I have to admit it. But I think in the end, you fall back on the values that your parents instilled in you. And I wouldn't have been able to look my father in the face, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'd be lying if I said I didn't think about it, but I never actually acted upon it.
I was going to follow with knowing your dad, and as tough as he is, that conversation, if you did use and you had to tell your dad, that'd have been tough.
It would have been one of the tougher conversations I've ever had with somebody. I think back and all those times in the backyard and up at the high school field, all those hours we spent working at the game. If I had taken a shortcut, man, I don't even want to think about the look on his face that would have gone.
He's Chipper Jones, the Atlanta Braves, former Braves third baseman. He is not coming out of retirement, by the way. There. I just wanted to make that official.
Not going to happen.
Yeah. You can announce your retirement again. Are you going to hold a press conference to announce you're still retired here? Just let these guys know?
Yeah, I don't know what else I have to do. I was asked the other day about, how long it would take me to get in shape. And, stuff tends to settle, once you're inactive, stuff tends to settle. It's some places I think it'd probably take me a couple months to get myself, back in shape. I'm having a blast, in retirement. I'm playing a lot of golf. I'm spending a lot of time with my 4 boys, and got a new house that I'm trying to decorate right now. So I'm staying plenty busy.
Do you play golf with Smoltz or Glavine, any of those guys?
You know what? I don't like to play with them, to be honest with you. They're too good. I need to be out there with my 14 and 15 handicappers, so we can enjoy ourselves. I think, you play with those guys, and really, it's like being on the plane ride, from Atlanta to L.A., and you're a rookie, and you step into a poker game with 5 millionaires. You're over your head. You're getting into a situation you can't control.
Well, did they take advantage of you when you first came up? They hazed you?
Oh yes. They did not pull any punches when it came to me. I was a lot different person then than I am now. I was really brash and cocky, and everybody wanted to kind of put me in their place. And if they could get me on the golf course or on the poker table or whatnot and school me in any way, shape, or form, they certainly took that opportunity.
Out of all those pitchers, who do you miss the most?
Probably Doggy. I think I was probably the closest with Maddux, even though you and I have talked. That man was probably the grossest human being ever put on this planet. But he entertained me, and Glav was kind of the more mature of the 3. He didn't let people in his circle very often. Smoltzy and I have kind of had our disagreements and our run-ins over the years. We're still great friends, but Doggy was the one guy I could really relate to, the one guy that I could go out to dinner with and share a laugh with. And, he talked. He made me feel like one of his equals because he talked to me about hitting, and it took me a few years to kind of go back through some of our conversations. He was learning from me, trying to get, an edge on what, hitters may be thinking. And that's why he was one of the best. And it was flattering that he would try and pick my brain like that.
That is interesting. Very, very sharp guy. But you didn't know at the time that he's actually getting information from you instead of you think you're getting information from him?
No, I was so dumb. I thought he was just making small talk. I thought he was just trying to make me feel good. Conversation's running kind of short. I might better ask this kid about, what he feels. And to be honest with you, later on in my career, before he, went somewhere else, San Diego or LA or wherever he went, it really started to dawn on me how much of a student of the game he was, more so than the other two, just for the simple fact that he would, actually let the hitters in and talk with them and learn from them. And man, it just seemed like you could never outguess the guy.
If you look at your numbers and you look at A-Rod, who's going to have better numbers than anybody, but do you look at it with an asterisk there that you played the position and, your numbers are going to be dwarfed by his, but you still, here's a guy who admitted that he cheated. How do you look at that as a fellow third baseman?
Well, I'm disappointed. A-Rod is a great friend of mine. We played high school baseball against each other. His team beat my team for the state championship my senior year, and it's disappointing because, A-Rod could be, looked at as a Cal Ripken type, an ambassador for the game. But once you have that stigma put on you, it's pretty much over. And I'm extremely disappointed because I think that Alex Rodriguez, whether he used steroids or not, could be one of the top 4 or 5 best players of all time when it's said and done. And because the fact he made these decisions, he's not going to be looked at in that light, and that's the most disappointing because I'm an A-Rod fan. When you're talking about a guy who's going to go out and hit 700 or 800 home runs and drive in over 2,000 runs, you want that guy to be a god. You want him to be an ambassador for the game of baseball, and it seems like a lot of the best players over the last 10, 15, 20 years who could carry that moniker have been found out to have cheated at one point or another.
Well, enjoy retirement. I'm sure you're going to get phone calls even now because people still won't believe you. But you know what? Here's the thing. If you tweet a picture or email a picture to all these teams and just show your gut, then maybe nobody calls you, Chipper.
Well, I'm sitting here looking at it in the mirror right now. I just lifted up my shirt. It looks pretty good. It's not exactly mid-season form. My girlfriend's laughing at me right now, by the way. But it's not exactly mid-season form, but I'm thinking I could probably get it where it needs to be in a couple weeks or so.
Well,
I'll do that.
This is what you need to do. If you have somebody mistake you for John Daly, then you'll know that it's time. Then you'll never get another phone call.
I will shoot myself if that happens.
Hey, good to visit with you as always, Chipper. Thanks. We appreciate it.
All right, buddy.
All right. Chipper Jones. Some good stuff.